everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming trailer for the newest episode of Street Woman Fighter Season 2. I do know that at this point, they're still actively voting for the battle mission, and there's still a lot that we haven't seen yet, and so this trailer is definitely going to be that part 2 that a lot of us are really wanting to take a look at and see what are the most facets of what makes up this challenge and what all it has to offer. I can't wait to get into it with you. Let's go ahead and check it out.
를 앞둔 마지막 관문 무대인 오늘 6 크루가 펼칠 대결은 배틀 퍼포먼스 미션입니다. 크루 대 크루로 맞붙는 단체 배틀 미션입니다.
레벨 먼저 시선을 확 끈 것 같아. 집중하는 레벨했다. 근데 이거 너무 잘했다. 시작과 끝이 너무 완벽했다. 저희가 맨날 했던 거랑 잘 짤 자신 있어요. 와 이거 진짜 기대된다. 레바 먼저. 항상 너무 비슷해요. 완성도가 너무 아쉬워서. 대포 옥수수장어서 조금 해야 될 것 같은.
Interesting.
레이디바운스.
So they went through kind of a rough draft
음악에 대한 이해가 부족했다.
before we saw the final result. Because I remember really enjoying Leadibaun스의 set for sure.
같은 댄서들한테 평가 이렇게 받으니까 좀 속상하다. 진짜 열심히 한 것 같아.
Man, I said this about the last trailer too, like about every episode. One of our groups reaches a breaking point, which I think is important though. I freaking love the fact that they are having to do it next to each other.
나 안 믿겨.
두 분의 스페셜 저지를 보셨습니다.
Prime King's Tricks and Honey J, baby.
점수를 안 드릴 것 같습니다.
트릭스님은 어떠셨나요?
집중력이 좀 깨지더라고요. 무당탕 느낌 좀 있어서 사실 좀 굳이 저는 사실 이해가 안 돼요. 되나요?
와, 이 정도라고?
Interesting. Okay, so we all know how Mnet edits these bad boys, so there's a good chance that who he's talking to in the context of that is completely different. Can I just say, the global vote, I really feel, oh man, the fact we got to see a frontal, we got like they did their set, especially for like Section C, they did that set live in front of people, but we didn't vote on that. We're voting on just the camera run through, right? I wish I saw these crews with the energy and adrenaline that comes from doing this mess live, because I feel like my analysis could completely flip-flop whenever you're dealing with the adrenaline of the environment in comparison to just in front of a camera. I truly believe that. So I really feel, I'm going to be so honest with you, the global vote, like, okay, we all understand that the global vote has such a heavy weight on this, and I get it to a certain degree, but part of me is like, man, I really wish that, one aspect I loved about the Muse challenge, because I've seen Street Man Fighters version of that. I loved the fact they had experts in the audience, because I really felt like we had more of an objectivity going into that challenge. But here you do have Trix, who is one of the best battlers that has ever come through the Street series, and then you have Honey J too, definitely a notable individual in Street Woman Fighter Season 1. So it's really cool to have them there. And I will say too, some of my favorite crew battles were from Prime Kings. So I think I'm very intrigued on Trix's perspective on a lot of these dissing portions, because I feel like what we're gonna see here is they are gonna be dissing at, like, look, they're dissing at the crew. Come on. You want to talk about straight up energy and fight? That's what that is. And I feel like that was completely missing from what I was analyzing before. So I want to make note of that there's a really good chance that the results could be so different than what I was guessing, because I was only going off of the video that I was given, right? Man, that makes me feel like I'm missing out on so much. Mnet! Like, come on, the energy is so different. Now this is, they are, and it says like going off of their own evaluation. Now this kind of stuff right here, that is just so freaking cool. Like, look at that. That was beautiful. Now they were talking about how Lady Bounce, theirs looks super simple, a little bit on the simpler side, right? So I can totally understand that. And I feel like, what was it? There was a couple crews from the Hwasa challenge that kind of received that kind of feedback. They made changes and then it was more effective. Like I know Kirsten, like Jam Republic made changes to their set between the draft they showed Hwasa and their end result, and I thought the change they made was great. I really liked what they had originally, but I did like the change they made. I think it made it more they listened, like they wanted to cater it to the artist, and I think that's so smart and very, very appropriate for the challenge. Here, you know, they're all going off of, as of right now, it's showing, you know, all the crews are saying something very similar. I'm actually kind of glad that they have these drafts and they're all looking at it. But then it makes me wonder, because those section A that they're looking at or section C? Because the Backpack Center and Lady Bounce, I believe that was the section C choreo that they were doing. No. That was section A. Looking at the section A choreo, they were giving the rough drafts. So I'm wondering if they got to see them and then they fixed them, and now it's the global vote. So I think it's hard. That's really hard, especially when you're so close to the finals, and if other crews are viewing you that way, that can be so overwhelming. There's way more pressure. Honestly, going from semis to finals is probably the toughest pressure-wise. But then once you get to finals, there's really not near as much pressure. You want to win, so there's an adrenaline to want to win. But honestly, just making it to finals is already a feat in and of itself. You're in all the episodes. You know what I mean? So that's really hard. And remember, Mana Queen, we experienced, they had an overwhelming, you know, it was Red League. She kind of broke down, and now it is Biggie. Biggie is breaking down, and it's just, the show can be really overwhelming. And so I hate the fact that so many people are reaching their breaking point on a lot of different facets of the show. But seeing what Lady Bounce did, well, at least what I analyzed, was phenomenal. It was probably my favorite set that I saw from Lady Bounce. They really followed the assignment, you know what I mean? So whatever happened between the draft to now was a huge growth, you know. And I know, like, for this, I only have the Choom is not really adding English translation to these anymore, so I have to use the Google Translate, so I am missing some stuff. But I did dive into Reddit while I was researching how to actually like look at this challenge with any sense of understanding of the criteria. And there was somebody who translated so shout out to who I found on Reddit, who translated what Trix was saying, because I did hear his feedback, and he was saying things along the lines of, like, he was like, is it okay to do, and it bleeped it out what it was, and he's like, if you're trying to do a gimmick that's ambiguous, then I don't know if I would want to give points to that. I think that was kind of what the translation was. That's Monica, right? Yeah. So here's the thing, we have no idea who these judges said these comments to who. We know that, you know. I think it was really smart to get Trix as a judge on this, because I mean, but here's the thing though, is that Trix he knows how to battle, and he knows how to do crew battles. He really does. I have not seen, and I will say this, I have seen him do feedback on his channel. He has a channel, and he's done the Street Woman Fighter Season 2 reactions, which I think is really cool, and he's been able, and some of his feedback's been really good on the ones that are translated. So I think out of most people, it is really good they got people from the street series to be on it, because I think it's just cool. And I feel like people, you know how people are, I feel like people aren't gonna complain as much having them versus if you had idol judges, because people are really sensitive to people who are idols trying to judge battles. You know, Trix, no one can complain that he is there because he battled, and the best battle as a Streetman fighter he was in. A lot of them were. So I'm very confident in saying that there's not going to be near as many complaints about him, maybe about his bluntness. But you also have to look at how Mnet is editing it, you know. It could just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, that kind of feedback was given, like that, oh, it makes them look like they really didn't do a good job. Maybe that. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, like, the context. They're just editing in a very specific way. I can't trust it. I can't trust it, guys. So all in all though, like, I am looking forward to seeing this. Part of me wishes the global vote was the live versions of their disses to the crew. That would have read so different. I truly feel that way. And maybe those who are in the audience and how we are streaming it or who we're choosing to vote would be closer in range, because what the audience got is something different than what we got as an international audience. And I want people to know that there is a difference when you execute or you perform in front of an audience in comparison to just in front of a camera. And I feel like most of us understand that. And part of me, I'm not frustrated, but I really feel like I'm missing on like my analysis. I really feel like I really didn't get the full picture like I could have if we saw the live version. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where most of my passion is stemming from, is that's just gonna hit so different. And I'm really looking forward to it, but we have to wait, we gotta wait until Tuesday in order to see that, But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know for the trailers, I don't really provide as much as I do when I do choreography, but it's really winding down. This episode is definitely going to be one of the most tense episodes we experience, because it's helping determine who makes it to the finals, and this feedback is way more sensitive, right? And people can, it's crunch time, right? And there's people who really want certain crews to make it into finals, and I feel like, I hope that certain crews, that whoever makes it into finals, I really hope that they're able to find joy while they're in finals. And I don't want people to feel like they are destroying themselves trying to get these challenges done, and just for the sake of entertainment. I really am an advocate for, I want people to find joy in dance, and I want people to be able to showcase themselves as artists. And in this show format like this, I know it can be very difficult, especially at this point in time when there's so much choreographic demand, and there have been battles that people have had to do. And then after this, we're going to be experiencing an elimination battle on top of it, right? So they did a whole battle mission where there's a freestyle integrated as part of it, but then your last place is going to automatically be eliminated. That's exactly what happened to Ote in their Muse of Streetman Fighter. They were automatically eliminated, and then it was between 1 Million and Bang 2 Brothers in the elimination battle, right? Back then, but then here it'll be between fifth and fourth place, right? So I think like it really is going to factor in that global vote matters a lot more than in other seasons, and that can really turn the tables on a lot of stuff. And also know there's another 500 points or 100 or something extra points that are being awarded that we don't know who gets yet. I know that 1 Million won the Huasa challenge, so they're sitting the prettiest right now out of everybody, regardless of how they did. I think Mana Queen really took the reins on their challenge, but does not discredit the fact that 1 Mill's got a huge advantage compared to everybody else. But there is another crew that also probably got more points. I don't know if 1 Mill got the global Chili Challenge points or whatever, the global vote on that. We don't know. My gut's telling me Jam got it, which could get them into the finals very easily. I will be surprised if Jam doesn't get into finals, and I will be surprised if 1 Million does not get into finals. With the other two slots, I feel a genuine toss-up. I think that it is, I really would hope that Bebe is in the finals, because they were one of the most consistent crews to execute quality choreography, and they've done quality battles as well in all of it. And then for me, I also think too, Mana Queen has really showcased a lot, but Lady Bounce also put up one heck of a fight here, and I love what they brought here for this set. And Wolflow, they are the Bang 2 Brothers of this season. If they can make it to the elimination battle, they have a high chance of making it to finals. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's just so much discussion, so much what ifs, there's so many tables that are going to be turned in this, that regardless of what I think, and honestly what I think doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because it's just TV, it's just a survival dance show, and I just know a lot about dance, but I do feel like at the end of the day, we are all we get to see dance in a way that we get to showcase people that have worked really, really hard in multiple facets of the industry. I'm really happy that a lot of them are able to be given more opportunities because of a show like this, and I'm really thankful that we get to all watch it together. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.